the request to the broken party.
So we are live on Facebook. Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. And it looks like we are live on Facebook as well. So YouTube and Facebook, good morning. Happy Fitz Friday. So we are experimenting around with different times. And what we want to do is we want to experiment with this time. And of course, you guys here on the West Coast in California, it's 6:30. And I'm usually up early. I'm early to bed, early to rise, but I was starting to question my decision this morning. Good morning, Cinthanie. How are you? Because it's not super early in
Good
Texas,
morning.
right? It's 8:30 there.
It's not super early, but because I get up at 5 every day with my husband, so 8:30 is not early for me anymore.
8:30 is late for you.
Yeah, it is. Like if I sleep in until 7, that's sleeping in. So
I'll just say that I had to make my coffee before we started. I was like, I don't care if it takes me 10 minutes because I'm a little bougie when it comes to coffee, and I make my bulletproof coffee, so that it's a process. Totally worth the process. But how you doing, girl, Miss Brunette?
I'm so. I know it's a really big change, but I think I like it better than blonde. I think I do.
It looks beautiful. You know, it sounds terrible and vain, but I've been blonde my whole life, and it's part of my identity. And the couple of times that I went brown, I went closer to, because my natural color of hair is like this dark blonde. So I'm a natural blonde, but it's a really dark natural blonde. And when I went that color, I just didn't feel like myself. But like going that dark, is that your natural color?
No. So my natural color is just like you. Naturally, I'm like a little bit darker blonde, like a dirty blonde, you know? So this is like the darkest my hair has ever been. And I was worried about that too, because blonde is like, I feel like part of my identity, you know? And so
this is ridiculous.
Stripped of that, at first I was like, oh my gosh, I look like the girl off The Ring. Like I was like I got out of the shower and like I was like, I look like the girl off The Ring. Like this is terrible. Because it was such a big change.
Yeah.
I posted this on Facebook a couple of days ago, but the day after I got it done, I got up at 5 with my husband.
Yeah.
And I walked into the bathroom and it was dark, and I saw a girl in there with dark hair, and I was like in fight mode. And I realized it was me in the mirror.
No way.
I was like, who is this girl in my bathroom? And then I realized
Are you serious?
But I didn't. Yes. No, seriously.
That's messed up.
I just didn't recognize
that is messed up.
So, yeah.
Well, it looks like we have a few people saying that they love the new hair. Josie from Canada says, love the new hair color.
You.
And I know that you've gotten a bunch of shout outs. So good morning, Rais, Nadir. I don't know how to say your last name, but so the whole point of us changing the time is that obviously our East Coast friends are at 9:30 in the morning, and us here in California, it's a little bit earlier, but we want to start people's day off with some laughter, some entertainment, and some positivity, right? And just like a morning show on a radio station. And but we'll be talking about all things that will help make you fit and healthy. And so of course, the audience who listens to our podcast, the Fitz and Healthy podcast, regularly know that I don't really give you a heads up too much about what we're going to talk about.
Nope.
Don't hate me. So you don't really know what this hashtag Project Get Your Sexy On is, do you?
Nope. I have no idea. Lean me in.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Project Get Your Sexy On. And you guys just know that we will be looking at, hi, Christina Santiago. I have at least someone in California that's up and watching, because she's just north of me in California. So just know that Cinthanie and I are going to be watching comments and mostly questions as well. And we'll answer questions, but we're going to try and talk about some sort of topic to start the Fitz Friday live off every week. So the topic of today is hashtag Project Get Your Sexy On. Now, nice nails. Thank you, Christina Hall. She is in Italy. What's up, girl? Well, she's not Italian, but she's in Italy. That being said, I just want to give you kind of the the thought process behind this hashtag Project Get Your Sexy On, okay? Because Cinthanie doesn't know this, and of course everyone else doesn't know this, but hashtag Project Get Your Sexy On came to me when a close friend texted me, and she was like, girl, I keep playing this particular song on, and I'm not going to lie, I might practice it at home. And I'm like, yes, get your sexy on, right? Project Get Your Sexy On. And and twerk what your mama gave you. Exactly, Christina, for sure. So one of the things that I talked about yesterday, kind of introducing this concept of hashtag Project Get Your Sexy On, is part of why I do what I do with dance fitness is to help females get in touch with that inner sexual being that is so freaking important for us to connect to. Because one of the great pleasures in life, oh Lord, Chad Carmen said I get my sexy on daily. You know this. So Chad is my IT guy who helped with the website and whatnot. Shout out to Chad in Montana. He gets his sexy on every day, apparently. Not Club Fit style. But so one of the greatest joys in life is sex. And let's just put it out there. So many people don't enjoy the entirety of sex because they are stuck in their own brain, because they can't get comfortable in their own skin. And one of the things that I love about dance and dance fitness, because, you know, the reality is there's a very small percentage of people that will dance professionally, right? I wanted to be one of those. I mean, I grew up wanting to be a backup dancer for Janet Jackson, right? And I actually crazy. She's a Beachbody coach, but she used to be a backup dancer for Britney Spears, and she was at the leadership conference in Vegas. And so like she was someone who actually like followed her dream and now is doing coaching. But regardless,
that's awesome.
I know us dancers can relate with this, but that's a very small minority. And so that's why dance fitness is so cool, because it helps people get in touch with that. So okay, here is my thought. And I didn't even run this by you before going. I know you're like, oh Lord, have mercy. What is she getting me into? So I would like to create a private group on Facebook. And I know my assistant Leah just got on. She's like, oh no, another Facebook group. Yes, another Facebook group. Because I want a safe place where us females, and it's only going to be females. Sorry, Chad, and all of the other males that are watching or listening. You are not invited to be a part of Get Your Sexy On, Project Get Your Sexy On. But I would like to create a safe place for us females to learn how to get in touch with that. Because let's be honest, a lot of people that follow me because of dance fitness. But I can't personally touch. That sounds terrible. I can't personally interact physically in a class with everyone that follows me. I mean, I love being able to do master classes where I get to dance with people in person, but for the most part, my influence is mostly online, right? And so I want to be able to help females get their sexy back on, and maybe not even back on, but get their sexy on for the first time. So what I would like to do is you and I head up a Facebook group where it's a safe zone where females can start to get in touch with their inner sexy. And so what that means is, well, I can already hear people like, well, what are you going to do in this Facebook group, right? So I have some ideas, and I'll throw my ideas out, and then you let me know what you think. Because of course I didn't clear this with you before we went on live, but
this is new information to me. So.
What had happened was I had intended to talk about it before, but it's 6:30 here in California, so it just didn't happen. So my idea is, let's take the person who has never really fully let go in the bedroom with their significant other, their spouse, or whomever, right? And dance is going to be that tool. So let's say, one of the choreographies that I'm filming on Sunday is an older song by Jeremiah called "Down on Me." It's a song that anyone that knows the song, like the moment it comes on, they're like, oh yeah. I mean, they like go there, even if they haven't used music in the bedroom. You just know there's certain songs that that were intended to be played in the bedroom, right? Well, how do we get from the person A who is so intimidated, who's not comfortable in their own skin, who isn't comfortable with being able to move their body like that, to crazy in the bedroom. How do you do that? Right? So
Yeah.
So I have a few ideas, and that's why I want to create a safe zone in this Facebook group where we can have women being able to share their little victories, videos, maybe pictures, being able to start embracing their inner sexual diva, right? And
totally.
So that being said, what I envision is, like, for instance, okay, ladies, listen to me. If you haven't tuned in, listen to me now, okay? If you go to sleep let's just assume that you live under the same roof as your spouse or your lover, okay? And if you go to sleep wearing something like a muumuu, right there, that's where we can start, okay? We're just going to go there because there are so many of you that are like, but Lauren, my sweatpants are so comfortable and blah, 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 blah. Okay, guys, this is where I want to help you guys. And I've got my hands on so many different projects. And one project that I'm working on is this Confidence Academy that I'm going to help women with confidence. But I think that this project, Get Your Sexy On, is going to be a perfect segue into that Confidence Academy, because so much of being able to be that rah in the bedroom has everything to do with confidence and nothing to do with how small or large your waist is. Right? I think that people look at someone like, for you, example, I mean, you are a gorgeous young female who has an incredible figure, who's just, you're welcome. You're welcome. But they can look at you and be like, well, of course it's easy for her to, go there because she looks the way she does. And I'm here to tell you that you do not have to look like a Scarlett Johansson double. I'm just going to put that out there. Because I know that you've gotten that before, but you don't.
I don't see it, but
I do. Maybe not now with the hair, but you definitely with the blonde hair, I could see why people go there. Yeah. When
the
I'm
thing is though too is, don't assume that girls that look a certain way are confident either.
Oh my gosh.
It goes both ways.
Can I tell you that since being in Orange County, it's crazy because if you compare me to the average female here, you would probably consider me fat. I'm not even kidding, because the eating disorder and
like this big,
and yes, and the drug abuse to abusing drugs to stay thin. It's rampant here. I mean, literally there, I see it at the places that I teach. It's a real thing here. And it's crazy because you get these women who, whether they're in my dance class or not, that look gorgeous. And then the moment that you start to see them, like, maybe take my class or do something, you can tell, like, oh, they need help. They might be gorgeous, but they need help in the confidence and the embracing that inner beast, right? Mm-hmm. That inner sexy beast that we all have. Confidence doesn't convince husbands. Trust me, I know. Jasmine, that's a good point. I noticed that too when I lived in Scottsdale, Arizona. I love all these comments, you guys. Jasmine, as a guy, confidence with time and consistency will pay off. My wife is living proof. Oh, I love that. We have a dude that's giving input. Okay, this is perfect because okay, the few dudes that are on can speak up and give us feedback, because us females have got to embrace the fact that men are visual, okay? Mm-hmm. So one, I'm telling you that if you don't have the perfect body and you look your like what you envision you want to look like yet, that's okay. I want to teach you how to embrace that. But it starts by little things. And it starts by little things like changing what you go to bed at night in, right? If you wear a muumuu, go to Victoria's Secret or go to hell. TJ Maxx has some sexy lingerie. You don't have to spend the extra money at Victoria's Secret, but go and buy something that you feel sexy in. And it doesn't have to be the bustier, like uncomfortable lingerie, although that is going to be one of the steps that we're going to do in Project Get Your Sexy On. Okay. Because I don't think that enough females, Ross too, Gabriel, that's a great point. Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, all of those places actually have really good options. For me, I like the search. A lot of people are like, oh, I hate those stores because you have to search. And that's like, man, I've had so many great finds. That's why I love TJ Maxx. I'm near divorce after only 6 months of marriage. I've done the get up hints and being flat out blunt. There's no helping here. Well, Jasmine, trust me, I've been in that kind of marriage before. I know what you're saying, but the only thing that you can control is you, right? You are the only person. You can only control your thoughts, words, and actions. And so there are definitely times where, the relationship that I was in my 20s, I remember thinking that, okay, each year was going to get better, but it didn't. And like, I knew I was doing everything that I could to change. And then that's when you have to be like, okay, I'm done. And that's not the point of this particular broadcast. This particular broadcast is to help women truly learn how to get to that point where no matter where you're at in your life, you feel your sexiest, healthiest self. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, Lila, sorry. It's morning time and dogs are being taken out. Lila, sorry guys. So the fact is, where do you start? So where do you think a good place to start is?
As in what? Getting your sexy on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're like, what?
Well, I'm just listening. I'm just following you. But no, I think that one thing that has definitely, because like she said, in order to feel your most sexy, empowered self, you have to, I think, shift your mindset and shift the way that you talk to yourself. And I know I have said this so many times on our episodes, but I will continue to say it because I think it's so important. You need to be your own best friend. And you are the first person you hear from in the morning. The words that come into your mind in the morning are the first things that you hear. And a lot of times, one of the first things we do when we get up is go in front of the mirror to brush our teeth, and we see ourselves. And you start to kind of nitpick everything that's on your body because you're a woman. And instead of doing that, I challenge you to write down 10 things that you love about yourself, whether it's personality or physical, or just write down 10 things that you know are good things about you, and remind yourself that every single morning. Give yourself affirmations. Start out by having a kinder conversation with yourself. Yes. Because if you don't believe that about yourself, it is going to be so hard to try to project that towards somebody else, and you definitely can't depend on somebody else to make you feel sexy and make you feel beautiful, because if you don't feel it yourself, you won't believe it coming from somebody else.
Absolutely. Tracy Grimes had a great point too. She said, pick something you love about yourself and emphasize that. So if you are not a fan of your midsection, ignore that and look at those ripe breasts that you think are like awesome and emphasize that. Like truly, it's such a great point. And, and that, a list like that can be something that can be shared in this private safe zone that this Facebook group is going to be, that literally you wouldn't fit, a female that's working on their confidence and getting their sexy on wouldn't feel comfortable posting on their, social media for everyone to see. But in this safe group, there is that, okay, it's okay to talk about these 10 things that I'm looking at that are really nice. And it's Christy Youssef said, if you're struggling, start with one thing, look until you find it, then think of that positive thought all day and add one new one each day. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And see, this is where
there's so many ways that you can do it.
Yes. And this is where, putting many great minds together is, I think, the best thing, because in this group we'll have other people, and we all have days that we feel sexy, and then other days that we're like, right? And having a safe zone of a female sexy squad. We'll come up with a fun name, but sexy squad I kind of like. That just came to my head. I like that, but a safe sexy squad where you can basically embrace your inner sexy. And so if it starts with it, it definitely starts with mindset. You were 100% right on that. And thank you for bringing that to the discussion, because that's where so many people struggle. And if you start there with anything, not just feeling sexy, but your weight loss, your, doing better in your job, being a better spouse, parent, whatnot, it all starts with mindset. I love the idea of daily affirmations in the morning. What an amazing way to start the day. Rachel Lau. Well, and Rachel, that's I'm glad that you said that, because we are actually about to film a podcast for Fitz and Healthy about habits and daily routines. And this is something that if you don't partake in personal development every day, you probably are not aware of how important that morning daily ritual is that starts your day off. Like, it's a game changer. And we're going to be talking about that. So I'm not sure if that's going to be the episode that drops on Monday or the next Monday, but we're filming the episode.
Coming soon.
It's coming soon for sure. Totally need this, and know many women that need this as well. Absolutely, Josie. And that's the thing. There are so many women that break each other down, and that you will never get that here with Cinthanie and I on the Fitz and Healthy podcast, because we are all about women empowerment and not just women empowerment, but I made this comment yesterday when I was talking about, well, I don't know, it's one of my many lives. I have too many, I can't keep up with them. But I think that the feminist movement did a lot of good for females, but then it did a lot of bad for us. And I would love to start helping the movement of undoing it. I by no means have started and created that idea. There's so many women like Dr. Pat Allen, who she's the one that we basically did, she's a marriage, family, and sex therapist that is here in Orange County that has a podcast that I highly recommend. You guys, I'll just give you a warning. If you haven't listened to our relationship yin and yang episode, go listen to that, because that kind of breaks down what she talks about. But she talks about the masculine and feminine energy, and the feminine energy is what is missing in so many of us. And that is one of the things that I want to embrace in this hashtag projects, Get Your Sexy On, because I think that if you can embrace your feminine energy, but know that you can still be a freaking kick-ass girl boss in your job, as in your role as a mom, but when it comes to your relationship, you need to embrace that you are a sexual goddess. And that like intimidates and scares a lot of people. And I want to help people get over that. So, Tracy, you saw her Tuesday night. No way. Excellent. I think she's talking about Pat Allen. So yeah, Pat Allen.
She's great.
Oh my gosh. Yes. If you guys just heads up. So if you go listen to her podcast, in the first probably 15 minutes, you're going to be like, this is an old lady that I'm listening to. I mean, have you listened to any of her podcasts yet, Cinthanie?
Yeah, she's great. Okay. I love it. And I love like the little pledges that she has everybody do. Yes. They're so awesome.
Yes. She has women raise their, well, not just women, but she, this whole masculine and feminine energy works for, straight and gay couples. And in every couple, there is a masculine and feminine energy individual. And so if you are the feminine energy in your relationship, she has you raise your right hand and pledge that you will not let the magic wand into any orifice in your body. And I'll just put that there. It's a morning show, so there might be kids in the car. but yeah, no, it's this project, Get Your Sexy On. I think it's going to be a cool community. And of course, it's going to probably consist of a community that we already are in existence. There's going to be a lot of people, I imagine, that we already know because of social media. Maybe we haven't met you in person, but I really would like, because, you're going to represent the millennials. The whole reason that I even wanted you on the podcast initially was you are the voice for the millennials. And I think that no matter how beautiful by society's terms you are, when you're in your early 20s, embracing that power that you have within you as a female, it's not easy. And having mentors in your life that help you not only acknowledge it, but embrace it and let it just empower you. Cause ladies, I don't care what you look like, what size you are, you have so much power if you tap into that sexual energy, you know?
Mhm.
And one thing I envision is having, because like, okay, you haven't been to one of my master classes yet, but usually when before I start the master class, I'll give them a little spiel and I'll talk to them about, you know, the fact that it's a judge-free zone. And then I want them to embrace their inner Beyonce, right? And they're embracing their inner Beyonce where, you know, no one's watching you. I want you to dance like you dance when you're getting ready, you know, for a date or whatever. You have the music on and your jam comes on. No one's at home and you're like, oh, yeah. And you start dancing in the mirror. Like we all do it. I will be the first to admit.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
I'm not ashamed of it. I'll do that in front of anyone. That's my jam, you know? but like being able to take a picture of yourself and be like, I just got down by myself in front of the mirror wearing this to Jeremiah's down on me. And I feel so sexy and empowered right now. And sharing that in this community. Don't you think that would be a great idea? I mean,
yeah, I think that's awesome.
I'm patting myself on the back with the idea. But okay, so I would like to open it up to the people that are watching right now. I've been trying to watch the comments on Facebook. I haven't been looking on YouTube. Janelle Parker says, being intimidated is a drawback to getting good with yourself. Absolutely. And, you know, and I know that we have a few men on here. Of course, most of my audience is female. And that's why I always remind people, I go sexy not to attract men. I go sexy so that women can feel comfortable embracing their inner sexy. Right. So, so the any men that are on here can tell you, and please, the ones that are listening, speak up. If you're there with a confident woman, if they've got woman A who, let's say, has society's idea of perfect body, perfect hair, blah, 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 but has no confidence. And you have woman B that might have some flaws and doesn't have perfect body, but she's like, this is the shiznat and I am going to bless you with that. Right? Who's the most attractive? It's person B. Right. It's confidence. It's everything.
Energy. Yeah, it's what you're putting out into the universe. Your energy speaks so much, and your energy also is interpreted through your body language. So if you're standing in a corner with like your shoulders down, your head down, like that's a big sign of like, I don't want to be talked to because I don't know if I can handle a conversation with you. But if your head's up, shoulders are back, like you walk in the room like you own it, like you're so much more approachable.
Yes, absolutely. So Tammy Moore, my Canadian friend, what's up, girl? I saw something I liked from one of my fave shows when she wrote stick-it notes everywhere to remind herself of beautiful qualities she has. Positive reinforcement. That's a great idea, Tammy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes. I'm classic for sticky notes. I've got sticky notes everywhere, but they're not positive affirmations. They're quotes that inspire me. So I think that's a good idea. Gio Johnson, or I don't know, Gioia. How would you pronounce that?
Oh, that's Joya.
Joya. Oh, that's a cool name. Joya Johnson. What's up? Shout out to Joya. You got a cool name. So do you have any book or other recommendations on helping change this negative mindset? I've never felt confident when I get married. When I got married, I weighed 125 and still hated my body and felt like I was never fit enough. Now 50 pounds heavier. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I'd kill to have that body back. Oh my gosh. Dude, that is its own podcast topic. Yeah. Girlfriend, you are not alone.
So many people. Yes. And that's so many people. Yeah. Yes. But book number one that I would recommend to you is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. It is one of my all-time favorite books for that exact reason.
Oh my gosh, that was the very first book that came to mind. And you know, in this private group, that will totally be, all of these ideas are coming to me. I did not plan any of this. I'm like, I kind of know what I want, but this is why it's brilliant to just put minds together. But in this secret sexy squad, that's what it's going to be. Secret sexy squad. We'll share books like that because I'm constantly reading personal development. So whether it's building on my, yes, we will share books like that. This is going to be free to anyone that wants to join. Females. It's female only. Yeah. That it definitely has to be a safe zone, because if you have never worn, something sexy while getting ready and you want to take a picture, I want you to feel comfortable in this place to post it and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the difference of just, instead of getting ready in sweats, I put on something sexy and now this is how I feel. Look, this is, a non-scale victory, right? So, So Robert wrote, first year of marriage is sometimes the roughest. I fell into this as I was always deployed. Oh yeah, dude, first year of marriage. I think so many people, now granted, you're in your first year of marriage, so I don't want to, there's always exceptions to the rule.
You can't scare me. It's not going to scare me. It's not anything that I haven't heard before. Everybody says that.
No, so. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Yeah, continue. You're allowed to continue. But I think that so many people just, it's like watching too many Disney fairy tales. You just thinking that, the prince is going to come along in its white horse and everything's, happily ever after, right? Yeah. Like it sets us up for some false pretenses. And first year of marriage, I think, is the hardest for most people. So whoever that comment was from Robert, just know that, and these are things that we can talk about in the private, the secret sexy squad group. You broke it down on the dance floor at leadership. Aaron Ferner. Yes, I did. See what my Beachbody friends don't realize. Yeah, no, it's funny because, granted, I've been a Beachbody coach now for 2 years and I'm 29 in the entire network. So there's almost, 500,000 coaches and I'm number 29, but most people don't know who I am. So when I go to these big events, I'm actually, most people are surprised to hear, but I'm actually an introvert. And so when I go to for example, there was the welcome reception and I literally, besides Melissa and Amanda, I couldn't find anyone that I knew. And then I finally found my friend Julianne and I'm like, I feel awkward. Can I come and sit with you guys? It's one of those kind of things. I just, totally. But then if there was a dance floor there, I could give two craps and I'd be like, all right, well, I don't know anyone, but I'm going to go on the dance floor. And it's funny because these events, I think people are like, who is this chick? I'm like, yeah. The dance floor. I'm telling you, it's where it all starts, right?
If you've never been with Lauren in public, and it doesn't require a dance floor. If there's music on, she'll make it a dance floor.
No, so. You're right.
That's just how you do.
Yeah. When music comes on and people are still, I'm like, how can you sit still to this music? Come on now, right? Okay, tell me that you have downloaded the Chris Brown album.
I have not. Oh, I did watch I watched the documentary, but I haven't downloaded the album.
And there's so many songs, literally a majority of the songs are whoo, I'm just going to say, do it on a weekend when you are not, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. I'll just put it out there, So Paula Melendez said, hi, I have a question. Where do you stand on keto diet? This is a perfect question. How can you know you're in ketosis without measuring the strips, with strips? They're too expensive. And according to Fat Bombs, what are they for? So Cinthanie, do you want to start this and then I'll finish with my 2 cents?
So I think that the idea of keto is really great. I do think that you definitely have to be careful of what your sources are, because some people eat in a way that it's just their macros. I just need to get this percentage of this. And some people eat in a way where they're actually reading the ingredients and tuning into their nutrients, not just their macronutrients, but the actual nutrients that they're putting into their body. Yeah. So I always say that I eat high fat, low carb because I don't eat keto, because I don't want people to mistake that that's the way that I eat. Because a lot of people will eat casseroles and a ton of cheese and stuff like that because it's fats. But if you can take it a step further than that and eat a higher fat, lower carb lifestyle, to me, that's the difference of ingredients versus just eating enough to get your fats in.
Absolutely. And what people don't realize is that high fat, low carb lifestyle can put you into ketosis teeter on in and out of ketosis. And so this is actually perfect. I wasn't planning on talking about this because I've been talking about this on my live videos all week. But the whole, our 12-week beta test group that I'm running with a team of experts. So I'm the physician. There's a nutritionist. There is a celebrity trainer, Mr. Chris Downing himself. He was on our team call last night, and he is going to be like intimately involved in this group. So we are being very exclusive on who we allow into this group. But the whole point of this group is to show you that, one, how to actually do a high fat, low carb lifestyle. Because I have a lot of clients and coaches that are in my challenge group that they think that they are leading a high fat, low carb lifestyle. And when it comes down to it, when I start to look at their food journal, they're nowhere close. And that's the struggle. Like, there's so many people that are like, okay, well, from what I've read, I really do think high fat, low carb might be the nutrition plan that's right for me, because guys, there is no one perfect nutrition plan. High fat, low carb might work for me, but it might not work for you. And this is why I like to have options. And as a coach, I'm constantly trying to tweak my customers' nutrition plan, because one plan might not work as good as another, because it's like genetically speaking, there are some genetic differences that if you have, high fat, low carb might be the absolute worst thing for you, right? But high fat, low carb is a lifestyle that is 100% maintainable. It's a lifestyle that will help people with, listen to me, chronic illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, autoimmune disorders. It will help with any kind of inflammatory disease process. So that could be your autoimmune rheumatoid arthritis or your non-autoimmune forms of arthritis. There are so many different states of health that eating a higher fat, lower carbohydrate, moderate protein lifestyle can help. Okay. Now, oftentimes people ask me about the ketogenic diet. Now, I think as a female that long-term, I'm not about quick fixes. I can help you lose weight for that wedding that you have next month or that reunion, but I'm more concerned about the big picture and helping you learn how to make a lifestyle now, a year from now, 10 years from now, so you can change your life and your family's life, right? So staying in ketosis is not, well, one, it's hard because you're really limited to the foods that you can eat if you really want to stay in ketosis. Two, I've seen particularly females really mess with their hormones, specifically their thyroid and their adrenals, with cortisol when they do strict ketosis. So the whole point of this beta test group is to show people, one, a stupid, easy way to do a high fat, low carb lifestyle, but it's combined with intermittent fasting. And if you've ever heard me talk about intermittent fasting, long and skinny of it is good for systemic lupus and RA. Absolutely, Jasmine, for sure. Any autoimmune disorder. I'm sorry, I was distracted. Myasthenia gravis. Yes, absolutely. Another autoimmune disorder for sure. All autoimmune disorders, this can help because it decreases inflammation. Okay. So ketogenic versus, a low carb, high fat, low carb. So what we're doing in this test group is I am going to show you, one, how to actually do high fat, low carb, and by giving you stupid, easy directions on, okay, this is the percent of fat, carbs, and protein that we're going to eat. And I'm going to give you diet meal plans so that you know exactly what to eat. And there are going to be some people that are like, that I don't eat eggs. Okay, I'm going to give you charts so that you know what you can substitute if you don't eat eggs or if you don't eat red meat. There will be a vegan option, but in the group, I am going to wholeheartedly ask people that are vegans for moral reasons. You do the vegan route. But if you are a vegan just because you believe that it's the healthiest way, I just ask you to be open-minded to the 12 weeks eating the non-vegan option, because a majority of people are going to be eating the non-vegan. And that's the thing that I think that so many people don't understand is that there's not too many good nutrition studies that look at a whole foods-based diet with good meat, meaning non-conventionally raised. So they're wild caught fish. There's free range, grass-fed, grass-finished beef. There's chickens that are free range that aren't given any antibiotics, any hormones. Like all of this is the way that humans were designed. But then humans came in and tried to make money off of food by creating fake food and these farms in which these animals, the conditions are terrible. Like I don't buy conventionally raised meat anymore. And so if you are a vegan because you just don't agree with killing animals for food, okay, I'm not going to question your moral belief. But if you are a vegan for other reasons, I'm going to really ask for you to consider following the main meal plan. But in this 12-week program, you will have one cheat meal, which is Christmas Day. Christmas lunch or dinner, whenever you eat. I know for my family, we usually have one big meal anyway, so you're not eating twice anyway. But you will be choosing a intermittent fasting eating window and fasting window. So that means that your eating window, you will choose a 6-hour, 8-hour, or 10-hour eating window. And if you choose, like for me, I'm going to choose a 6-hour window. So the entire 12 weeks, I will get all of my food and caloric energy from food within a 6-hour window. And I will do that all 12 weeks. I'm going to show people that this is a great way to lose weight, keep it off, but feel amazing. And I'm going to show you that your labs and your blood pressure will have never been better. And so there is a minimum requirement of labs to be a part of this. And most people's health insurance will cover it for free, but there are some people that don't have health insurance that are going to have to go to CVS and pay $40 to get their minimum labs. So, but I definitely believe that there are a lot of benefits to periodically going into ketosis. But staying in ketosis, I worry about long-term, these females that go hardcore and then they realize that, man, I can't do this the rest of my life. And then they start eating regular and they gain all the weight back and then some because they've jacked their hormones.
Yeah.
So that was a really long question. I mean, a really long answer to a question. Paula says, by the way, I have PCOS and started following Dr. Jason Fung in his page. Is that okay? Absolutely, Paula. In fact, I was just talking to someone at Beachbody headquarters just yesterday and told them about Dr. Jason Fung because he's one of the many cutting edge medical professionals. He's a nephrologist, which means that it's a kidney doctor, and kidney doctors typically take care of mostly diabetic patients because end-stage diabetes is basically your kidneys fail. You lose all your digits because the blood flow to the digits goes away because diabetes is a terrible, terrible disease that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And it's totally reversible, but most physicians don't believe that or don't know that. And he is one that does. He has this huge clinic up in Canada, and he is literally reversing people's diabetes right and left with a high fat, low carb lifestyle, intermittent fasting. He does alternate day fasting. He puts some of his patients on long-term fast. And of course, that's something that you do under care of a medical doctor like Dr. Jason Fung, but he has patients all over the world that, can't afford to come to Canada, but he sees them, just like this. So yes, I believe that the more knowledge you have, the more potential power, but that potential power isn't power unless you execute. So you can listen to me and Cinthanie all day, but if you don't put that knowledge into execution, it's just going to be there and do nothing. Right?
Definitely.
Okay.
And we can't give you all of the information in one sitting. I mean, we try to hit the bullet points that we can to give you information to encourage you to go do your own research. So don't rely on us for all the information. Take the initiative that if you want to know more or learn more, go search, go look for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Tanya Anderson said, also have PCOS. You sent me an email. What do I need to do to sign up? So Tanya Anderson, that's a great question. So we are only letting people that are coaches on my team, Cinthany's team, and Melissa's team participate in this. And we're not just letting, it's not just you are a coach so you can participate. If you have been a coach for any amount of time, you have to have skin in the game because I'm not messing around. I'm not having people join in and week 2, they fizzle out. I only want people that are willing to commit 110% to all 12 weeks. And so a lot of my discount coaches that have just been sitting there doing nothing with their business, you have to find, depending on how long you've been a coach on my team or Cinthany's team or Melissa's team, you have to find a certain amount of people that want to go on this journey with you. So, so that's specifically for my discount coaches. Now, any of my customers, or new customers, you have to buy what's called a challenge package, which is essentially 2 things for the price of 1, because we will be using Beachbody on demand. But guess what? Chris Downing is going to do a lot of live workouts for us that are not available on Beachbody on demand. Just saying. So you guys, this thing is going to be monumental, and you do not want to miss out on it, because it's going to be groundbreaking, because there's so many people that keep hearing about the high fat, low carb lifestyle and try it. But it's not easy if you don't know what you're doing. And literally, we're going to make it stupid, easy, simple. Like, okay, here's the menu for week 1. And of course, if you don't eat salmon, we'll show you what you can interchange for that. But for the most part, we are going to give you menus every week so that you know exactly what to eat, and you know how much of what kind of foods you're supposed to eat, right? So Christina Hall said, okay, marriage for over 20 years plus, you need to find a partner that makes you a better person on this earth. Oh my gosh, that just gave me chills. Yes, Christina. And I know Christina and her husband and her family very well. So I can say, like, they're a beautiful family. And I obviously don't know her husband as well as her, but her husband is a great dude. So I feel, so she said, in all sense of meaning, I felt better and was on my sexy on when I felt better physically, mentally, and spiritually. I was a better mom, wife, friend, bam. Do you, boo? Yes. So true. And you know, that's so true. That's part of my idea about the hashtag Project Get Your Sexy On, and the secret sexy squad group that we are going to start forming. Sorry, I know that another Facebook group is the last thing either of us need, but I really do. I believe in the importance of this movement, this project, because if you can start getting you right mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you're going to be your best self, and that's ultimately what we're all about at the Fitz and Healthy podcast. We just want you to learn how to be your very best you. And it doesn't happen overnight, and it's not a direct correlate. Like, every day isn't, going up, but for the most part, if the average of most of your days, you're going in this direction, then that's good. And that's what we want to help do. So, okay. So have you looked at any of the questions on YouTube?
So my computer is frozen, so I can't read any questions anywhere.
Okay. So we heard in our ears, Robert said YouTube is clear. I think most people follow us and write questions on the Facebook page. So I'm trying to scroll down and make sure that I've not missed anything. Oh, so Josie, my Canadian friend, she said Unashamed by Christine Kane is another great book. And that's a book I actually haven't read yet that I want to read. So let's see, any other white horse hunks, laugh out loud, don't exist in my opinion. I halfway agree, halfway don't. I could care less what society thinks you should look like. God created everyone the way they should be. True, Lavinga, Peter Scheim. Yeah. But there's also the element of, are you taking care of yourself so that you are the best of your your best self. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Totally. And
because it's not even about, changing your body shape or being an ideal body type. Like, that's not our message. Don't ever get that mixed up. Our message is helping you in whatever season of life you are in. Make sure that you are living your best life and being your healthiest. And that's going to look different for everybody. So it's definitely not so much about what we want you to look like. It's what we want you to feel like. Yes. Because when you feel better, you do better in so many other aspects of your life.
And everything is better, even in the bedroom. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that. Truly, like,
not even because your body has to change, but just your mindset. You can be living the exact same life, but if you have a different mindset, you're going to experience it in a totally different way. Like, I've been with my husband, we dated for 6 years before we got married, and I have been Cinthanie, who hates her body and is 20 pounds heavier, and I have been Cinthanie, who loves her body during the process of losing those 20 pounds. And it's not because I was living a different life or with a different guy or in a different state. nothing. It was just a different mental focus.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one thing, that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited that Chris Downing is going to be a part of this 12-week beta test group, because if you don't follow him on Facebook yet, I don't know what you're missing, like why you haven't started following him. He is such an amazing coach and motivator. I really got to know him pretty well when I was a test member of the test group for his program called the Shift Shop. That was back in late spring. And he was in that group every single day, and just his ability to speak to people's souls. Like, we're all at different spots in our journey, right? But he is able to get to your soul, and that's where change really happens, right?
Yeah.
It's not just getting a workout done and eating this menu plan. It all starts up here. Christina Hall said, "You inspired me while in Masawa. Aw, thank you. With my big ass to work at making me feel better at my own personal level to be healthier." Aw, Lauren Fitzgerald, you have that gift to inspire people. You're just a badass. Oh, Christina, I love you. I love you. That totally just, I know, that just made my day. I received that, and thank you so much. That just, those positive affirmations, when I hear people say stuff like that, it reaffirms that I'm doing what I'm meant to do. So I humbly accept your sweet, kind words. And of course, I just love you and your family. Her daughter was basically my daughter, Hannah, my stepdaughter. They were best friends in Masawa. So they hung out a lot together. So yeah. So, okay. So any other comments or concerns that you want to, because this Fitz Friday Live went long. We're almost at an hour.
We had lots to cover.
We did. Any other input that you want to say before we wrap this up and start recording our podcast?
Nope. Just the usual, that you are a good person and you deserve really good things to happen to you.
Including good sex, just saying. Okay.
Yep.
Happy Friday, guys. Thank you so much for spending Fitz Friday Live with us. I think that this time frame is actually good. As much as, it's early here, but I think it's a great time frame, and we would love feedback, because if you like this time frame better than our usual 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, or maybe lunchtime, we want to hear from you, because we want to be a part of your Friday routine, so that we can help bring some positivity, fun, love, and joy into your life every Friday. So let us know any questions
or likes.
Yes, please.
And if you do like this time, share this video so that we can have other people here with us too. So if you like this time, please share it, hit the like or love button. Let us know. We need your feedback.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you haven't gone and subscribed to the Fitz and Healthy podcast on your podcast app, guys, it's really easy. All you have to do, look, here is that purple button right there on your iPhone. Most people are iPhone users. I'm not judging you if you're not, but the iPod app is like literally embedded in your iPhone. So you just click on that and you go search Fitz and Healthy. It's the and sign. And that's it. So go subscribe. Healthy. Yes. FITZ. If people don't know it's FITZ by now, what is wrong with you? Okay. Love you guys so much. Thank you for spending this time with us. I hope you have a beautiful Friday, a beautiful weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. Peace.
Bye.
Make sure that you find us on social media. You can find Cinthanie on Instagram and Facebook at Cinthanie. So that's CINTHANIE, and on Snapchat at Cinthanie P. And find me on social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at Club Fitz Fitness. Remember, that's FITZ Fitness. And on Snapchat, just at Club Fitz. I appreciate your time listening so much. If you enjoyed this episode of the Fitz and Healthy podcast, can you please go do me a favor and go subscribe whatever platform that it is that you listen to podcasts. Leave a review. We read every single review, and we appreciate the time that you take to leave your thoughts and opinions. Now, also remember, while I am a medical doctor, the information I provide here is not intended to provide medical advice or professional diagnosis, opinion, treatment, or services to you or to any other individual. I am providing general information for educational and informational purposes only, and it is not a substitute for medical or professional care. You should not use this information in place of a visit, call, consultation, or the advice of your physician or other healthcare provider. The information I share is not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose any disease or medical condition. If you believe you have a medical emergency, just call 911 immediately or your physician. Now, enough of that medical legal jargon. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I appreciate your time. Now, go live a Fitz and Healthy life.